Um, I know this is late. It's probably already 2 days late, but I'm making the video on my opinion on the Uruguay game, on the Mexico game, and on the Haiti game. And there were some really good games, especially Mexico's, in my opinion, but also Haiti. Haiti had a good game as well. They came back and won off a 2-0, but I'm going to talk right now about the Uruguay game. Kind of really disappointed in myself as well as the Uruguayans because for me they were favorites to win this cup. They were the ones that were supposed to win this cup. In my opinion, I thought they had the best squad in the whole competition. They had the top players playing in top leagues, and the only weakness I saw was the goalie, in my opinion. But what I see is that it's kind of really hard to make opinion-based predictions in this type of cup. Maybe because I'm not as familiar. I've seen the Copa America ever since like 2011, ever since like I was young in middle school. And so I feel like I have a familiarity with it, but not to the extent that I would like to because I know South American soccer is more fast paced, more physical, more tactics are not really a thing that are taken into hand in South America, and it's more about wasting time and getting fouls and I don't know, flopping, stuff like that. Like it's more heart, more garra, more teniendo huevos, more like just having cojones, things like that. Like just having more heart, working harder than the other player, working harder than the other team. Just things that aren't really, you can't really measure them. They're not measurable, and that's what I feel like a lot of these games that people think that certain things were supposed to happen because people didn't understand or they don't see. It's really complex, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being exaggerated. Maybe I'm taking stuff out of hand. It makes no sense. But for me, just looking at out of all the games, there's only 2 goals scored in the whole quarterfinals, just for the games in Argentina. And that game was just like 2 little flukes. They had one in the first half. They had one like almost finishing the game, and that was basically it. The Brazil game went all the way to penalties. The Chile Colombia game, same thing. There's goals that happen in these games, but VAR took them away. I'm not saying VAR is to blame here. VAR is basically doing its job. I feel like in maybe some of the goals they took away from Uruguay in this game could have been disputed. I guess the one that Cavani did was offsides. I don't know. That one they took off in the first half where the number 10 made it. I don't know. For me, it wasn't offsides, but you can't blame it. The one that Chile made also in their first half as well when they're playing Colombia, I feel like that was also a goal. I didn't see Alexis Sanchez offsides in anywhere other than that. I didn't see no offsides in that play, but like I said, of this game, it's just I thought they were gonna win. I thought they were a better team. I keep on thinking, but I'm not right. It takes heart out there. It takes things that aren't measurable. And what's his name? Galinese or something. The Peruvian goalkeeper, he actually looked decent out there. I was just basically basing my opinion off the last game that Peru played, where they got slaughtered like 5-0 by Brazil. And Brazil also looked good. But I feel like certain people or certain teams or certain teams play them to not lose. And the way they play them is by sticking themselves in the back and just letting the opposition come at them. And then they go on the counter, basically. And Venezuela tried to do that with Argentina, but Argentina literally got the goal like super quick, and it just basically ruined their whole game plan. So that's why they got opened up at the end. But that's what I mean. If you don't find that goal, or if you don't look for that goal in the first few minutes, the game is going to be eternal, and it's just going to be a wear and tear, and it's super hard. And literally, like I said, this is just stuff that's not measurable. Peru literally made it through this competition or made it through this game without even having a shot on target. And not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's not like, just looking at the quality of players, looking at the style of play, looking at the way things turned out, you would want to see Uruguay in the next round. But they were unlucky. They had the chances. They got them taken off. 3 goals. They got them taken off for offsides. Even the last one, I felt like wasn't even offsides. I feel like Luis Suarez, just his knee was offsides. But I guess I thought it was just your feet. Like if your feet were on an offsides position, then it was offsides. But like if a body part, your hand or whatever was offsides, I didn't think that was offsides. But I don't know. I just saw his knee offsides on that one. But it's all subjective. They saw what they saw. They know more than me, I guess. Peru's through. I'm not going to say that Peru's a bad team. I know their quality. I've seen them. Basically, they've been rising up like the few years that I have been watching Copa America. I thought especially in 2015, since they got pretty high up in 2011, they got up to third. I thought in 2015 they were going to be a pretty good team. And they did make it to the instance. I think they did make it to semifinals in 2015. But I think they lost to Argentina, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Paraguay. I have no idea. I don't really remember. But they were a good team. I did see them. A lot of this core right here was like finna go into their prime. They were like 26, 27, around that age, 28. And then right now, most of them are in their 30s. So I guess they just have that experience factor as well. And they just wanted more. You could just see it. They defended like crazy. They got the result they wanted. They were clinical in the penalties. And I think teams just need to be, coaches need to be aware of that. They need to prepare the team in the right way to fit these circumstances, because this is, I guess it's a part of South American football, because that's basically all these matches, how they've been. A lot of goals have been taken away because of VAR, but I feel like you have to practice that penalty aspect, because these teams were basically knocked out by just missing one penalty, and these teams that look for this type of play, this is in their game plan. You have to see that as well. When they're trying to defend a result the whole time, and they stick and they park the bus, and they just basically hanging on their side of the field and just waiting for the other team to counter. I mean, the other team to possess the ball and to try to score and equalize or just capitalize. What I mean, yeah, their game plan is to go to extra time, then to ultimately go to penalties, because penalties is unpredictable. And since these teams are looking for that, and the other opposing team is actually looking to win the game in normal time, they also have to prepare themselves for these instances, because it can happen. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know if it's egos or if it's just thinking that you're better than them and you think that you can beat them in normal time. You have to practice the penalty. The penalty has to be practiced. And I feel like the coaches should have been more prepared. I know Uruguay's coach is like super old. He's been there since like the 80s, I think, 70s. And this guy's like freaking 80-something or 70-something. And for me, he's not supposed to be there anymore. This guy can barely walk. And I don't know. I feel like they need new blood, a new coach, something new. Something that's going to help the Uruguayans get through that hump. And I feel like they have won a lot of competitions. They have had a lot of success. They have gone far in the World Cup. They have gone far in the Copa America. They won it 2011. 2010 World Cup, they got like fourth. They have progressed, but I feel like there was more that they could have did. But that's basically all I have to say for the Uruguay-Peru game. For the Canada-Haiti game, I'm going to just be honest and say this straight up right now. I didn't watch it. It's not that I didn't want to watch it. It wasn't very too enticing to me, but I seen the quality that both teams had, what they possessed. Just flat out having a prediction before the game even started. I knew I saw Canada as being favorites. I saw them going through. Not that saying that Haiti didn't have any quality, but I didn't see them actually beating them. I didn't think that Canada was gonna like demolish Haiti because of what I saw in the Costa Rica game. But they did qualify first, so I did have to rate it. But I felt like Canada was gonna get over the hump. Basically, Um, barely, maybe like a 2-1, maybe like I don't know, a 1-0. That's what I felt. I just felt like maybe one goal was gonna be in this thing, but it didn't actually turn out being that way. There was actually two goals that Canada scored basically in the first half. One from David, and I guess he's from Haitian descent because he was asking for forgiveness once he scored, and then a through ball that kind of looked offsides, but I guess it was onside. The referee didn't say anything. There was a little through ball to Cavallini, and Cavallini just took on the goalie, and it was a 1-on-1. He won the battle. He faked. He cut in basically in, and then he went out and he scored. But Haiti just kept on looking for the goals. They didn't give up. I like that about them. They seem to be like underdogs. It's like the same thing that happened in the Costa Rica game. They got the penalty, and after that, they just got pumped. And these guys, I don't know, they have like some type of attitude where once they find that goal, like there's really nothing stopping them. And that's a good thing to have, but I don't know. They better find that before that. They shouldn't always have to go down just to get that motivation, that adrenaline to want to win after that happens, Because I feel like you shouldn't concede if you don't have to, You should be looking for the game as well. I don't really know how they played. Maybe they were playing defensive at first and then they went on the offensive, the Haitians, but I'm not too sure. I know they got the first goal off a mistake of a Canadian player that just passed the ball back, and the goalie couldn't, I don't know. For me, the weakest link in the Canadian team is the goalie because I don't feel like he's up to par with the rest of the team. There's a lot of youngsters. There's some that are in Europe. The best one right now is probably Alphonso Davis, that's in Bayern. But other than that, they do have other players that are playing in other leagues, and they're pretty good. Cavallini, like I said before, he played in Mexico. He plays in Puebla, and he's looking up to get in a higher tier team and a top team in Mexico. Like Monterrey's looking to buy him, and that's what I'm saying. Just the quality's more there, but also the quality's in Haiti because I've also heard that they have a lot of players that are playing in second division in the French league. So they're in Europe. They might not be in the first division, but they are in the second division, and they are getting minutes, and that's very crucial, very important. And there might be a lot of chemistry because some of them may be like French natives, and they have descendants that are Cajun, and I guess it just helps with the chemistry, but it's working out. It's working really good. It's looking very promising for the future, and I feel like these people need it, because they've suffered a lot. They've gone through that horrible natural disaster, that hurricane that devastated the whole country. And I mean, that happened when I was little, and I don't know, might not have any meaning now, but it's glad to see them that they're picking up, that the country's at least going somewhere in a good direction in football. Because I know football is just a temporary thing, and it's not as meaningful as life, but it's good to see them succeeding somewhere else as well. And I'm glad to see that my conference, or not my conference, but my region, like the quality is starting to pick up. And like I said, the natural ability or the physicality, the strength, the height, the speedness of just being of African descent, like it's always been there. I've always seen it against other teams, but like I felt like the quality of the touch, of the technicality, of the shooting, things like that, of these certain type of players, I never really seen it. But like now having them play in different leagues, even if it's second division, third division, whatever division, but them being in Europe, they're getting a different type of influence. They're getting something different that they haven't had before, and it's showing. It's reflecting. They're looking like a really strong team, at least a really good, decent team. They have probably a coach that's really ordering them or putting them in the right position to win. And they're looking very decent attacking. And that's what I'm saying. Like they have something that they didn't have before, and already with their natural ability, their height, their strength, their speed, everything is getting out of hand, If they just keep on picking up, they're gonna be really a strong team in the future. I mean, that's something to look forward to, And I'm glad that they're going up because I'm tired of people just like talking bad about this region, that the only people here are just Mexico and USA. And there's a lot of teams, and a lot of teams are struggling. There's a lot of poverty in these countries. There's a lot of problems, and people don't take that into consideration. And they just look at the football sense, which is what you have to look at. I know I didn't really talk about the game. I'm mostly talking about other issues. But yeah, like I think they got that first goal off a goalie mistake, and then Nason I think made the second one. I think off a penalty. The speed, like I said, it was cutting in. This guy, I think they gave a through ball, and no, they gave like a what's it called? A lob, and the defender didn't see it, and the guy was behind him. And once he was behind him, he just basically made the foul. They made the second goal. Then the third goal was skill, and they won the game. And Canada scored a goal at the end, but it didn't count because it was offsides. But I mean, the Haitians looking good, and I don't know what to think about what's gonna happen in the next round, because I saw this Mexico Costa Rica game, and even though Mexico won, I did not see them play anywhere close to like the quality that everybody says they have, or the standard of Mexican soccer and things like that. I didn't see it. The Costa Rican team actually went and took it to them, and that midfield for me was dominated by the Costa Rican team. Like, I don't know what was going on. Like, I was like, wow. Even like with the captain Andres Guardado, like, I know his quality. I seen him. Like, he was getting so rushed in his plays, and he was getting the ball taken away. He was not giving the pass he needed to. He was shooting when he didn't have to. Someone that really stood out to me was Pizarro. He was looking good in this game. Also, he does a lot of fakes and shakes and a lot of dribbling. And at times it wasn't necessary, and he got the ball taken away. But he was running. He was physical. He was causing fights. He was in their faces. He was trying to be there. He gave the assist for the first goal for Jimenez, so he was looking very active, more than I think on other players in the Mexican national team. Like the poster boy right now, the star boy, whatever. Not the weekend, but but Antuna has been the one that's everybody's been hyped about. Some guy that came from nowhere, or like everybody knows it. They're looking up his story, whatever. But like they know he's been shining in this competition, but he's been shining against lower tier opposition. And Costa Rica's decent. We've seen what they've done in like the 2014 World Cup, where they got out of like the group of death and they were first. And the quality's there, and everybody raced them after that happened. Everybody. A lot of people know Costa Rica now. They know the quality they have in football, and they're looking like they're doing something good. I don't know. I thought they were going down. I thought the crop of players they had was really low because of the ages they had and things like that. But it looks like it seems to start picking up at this time, and that's really good to see. Someone that I also saw kind of lost in this game was Raul Jimenez, but he has a lot of quality. He was the difference maker. There was a lot of physicality in this game. The Costa Rican defenders are really tall. They're really strong. And just Raul Jimenez being in the Premier League, I guess it gave him that edge, that advantage, that ability to be able to score the goal and be the difference maker in this game. And knowing the toughness and having that mentality of being able to score is good. And just... he was a difference maker, and that's what you need in these sort of games. You need those people that are going to step up, that have been in these positions before, and that you can depend on them to get you out of this rut, And he was the one that got Mexico up and got them out of that tough first half, I think. I don't know if it was in the first half or second half where they scored, but it was really tough for them. Like I said, the midfield was basically dominated by the Costa Rican players. They were pressing so high up the field as well. That Mexican team is really used to having space and really used to having the opposition just stay in their own half. But the Costa Rican players were actually already pressing from the back. They were pressing the defenders. The defense looked kind of decent in this game. At times, there was a lot of mistakes. I saw a lot of the quickness of some players. Joe Campbell, for example. Not saying that he's not super high quality, but this guy was just running through the defense. And I remember there was one where he actually got all the way through, but Gallardo was able to recover and block the shot. But like I said, I don't know. I saw a lot of mistakes by the Mexican team. They played really bad. And just because they had like Raul Jimenez, they were able to capitalize. And the goal even for Costa Rica was pretty good too, because Mexico did have some more chances, and their chances were more clinical than Costa Rica's as well. Costa Rica was like able to get there, and they were controlling the midfield, but they didn't really have any good shots on target as Mexico did. They had like 2 or 3 that were pretty good, but the goalie was able to take them out. So the goalie's also quality. I'm not gonna say he's better than Keylor Navas, but he did show up in this game. Like I said, the best part of the Mexican team probably was the defense. They seemed to be pretty solid. Memo Ochoa especially being attentive in certain instances of the match, where the Costa Rican team, I swear at the very end, was starting to get the better hand of Mexico. They were starting to get really loose, and they were really getting into positions of being able to capitalize on a certain possession. And just because Memo Ochoa is really good, his quality is really good, and him also being very attentive and in the game, he was able to save Mexico. I know there was a penalty called, and maybe with VAR it wouldn't have been called, but I don't know. It's all controversy. I mean, it is what it is. For me, someone that should have been there to help this Mexican team, they needed like some sort of anchor to transition the defense to attack. That would have been Hector Herrera. I know he's out there trying to do his move to Atletico Madrid, and he asked to not be there, but I don't know. I feel like he's really needed in these type of games that are very tight. Props to Matosas. He's really changed the face of this team. They look very competitive. They're looking like a really good team. They're looking like what's his name? Josue Manuel, I think, Pinto, the guy they had before. He's looking like that quality. And I don't know. Mexico did good. And the penalties, they were lucky that Costa Rica had that last guy that was not really sure. You could see it in his face when he scored that, when he was trying to shoot his last penalty. And Memo Ochoa is really known for his hops, for his atajadas, for like his reflexes, for things like that, for being able to block these amazing goals. But he's not really known for his penalty skills. And I feel like they're giving more merit to his just being known for blocking these super tight goals where like they're like basically on the post, but he's able to save them. They're giving him more merit for like that penalty, but like I saw it in the guy's face who shot it that he wasn't gonna make it just because of the way he looked and the way he kicked it and things like that. But all props to Ochoa for being attentive. He was attentive during the game. He was very clinical during the game. He was clinical in that last penalty, because even if he supposedly has the quality, he has to save that, and he did, and he got his team through, and Mexico is rejoicing because of that. They're looking pretty strong. I don't know what to think about the Haiti game, because Haiti was like, they were down to Costa Rica. Costa Rica mostly dominated that match, but in that last amount of time, that second half, they were super tired, and the Haitian team was just taking it to them on the wings, and I saw a lot of fatigue in this match, and we'll see what happens with that Haiti team. That's going to be a really good game. Yeah, and so that's all I got to say about the games. This is all for the video. I'll keep on trying to post videos on time now. I can't promise it though, but I hope y'all like the video. I hope you subscribe. I'm gonna just try to keep on putting out the videos as fast as I can, and I'm gonna try to do one for like each day, because there's so much football playing now. So I'll just keep y'all posted and just keep on watching and subscribe to the channel.